Hey friends, it's Day with Daisy Chains, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to make these wire flowers. I love these so much because you can make earrings out of them, you can make necklaces, you can just use them as charms for like a bookmark or a keychain. You can do so many things with these, and today I'm going to be making mine into a pair of earrings like the ones that I'm wearing now. So let's get into it. Okay, so let's talk tools. First thing we're gonna need is a pair of cutters. We're gonna have to cut our wire, of course. And then we're also gonna need a pair of bail making pliers. These are gonna be really important for making our petals. And then we're gonna need some flat pliers. I'm gonna be using a pair of bent chain nose pliers, but you could use a pair of regular chain nose pliers. This is gonna be used for shaping and kind of holding on to that spiral that's gonna be making the center of our flower. And then we're gonna need a pair of round nose pliers. This is going to be for getting that shape started and for kind of making our swirl. However, if you don't have a pair of round nose pliers, that is no big deal because we can also use our bail making pliers for that if needed. I just personally like using the round nose pliers for that because I feel like it gives me a little bit more control. And then I'm also going to be using a pair of tweezer nose pliers. You could probably get away without these if you don't have them, but I do find that it really helps whenever we're separating our petals. It really kind of helps give that sharp point between those petals, but again, if you don't have one of these, that's no big deal. You can probably just get away with your other flat pliers as well. But also vice versa, if you don't have another pair of flat pliers, you can probably just get away with using a pair of tweezer nose pliers for that as well. And then we're also going to be using a chasing hammer and a hammering block. If you don't have a chasing hammer and a hammering block, you could probably do these flowers without hammering them, but just know they won't be as sturdy because hammering your metal is called work hardening, and it is going to make those shapes a lot stronger and keep them from bending out of shape as easily. So this is really important, but if you don't have it, then you can still participate and still practice. And also, if you just have like a regular hammer and something to hammer on, you can use that as well. Just be aware that you are going to probably leave a little bit of texture on your work, but if you're just making these for yourself, that's also not really that big of a deal. And as far as the actual materials for this project goes, that is pretty minimal. We really just need wire. Today I'm going to be using 18 gauge copper, but you could also use 16 gauge. If you are going to be hammering these, I would recommend using a bare wire because if you're using anything that's coated, it's really easy to scratch up, and as you're hammering your work, that coating can really easily flake off. And same just with the way that we shape these flowers. Using a coated wire is possible, but it is going to be a little bit more challenging. And since I'm going to be making a pair of earrings, I do have a pair of copper plated earring hooks. However, if you don't plan on making earrings with your flower and you're just making a necklace or a charm or just experimenting with the shape generally, then this could be optional for you. Okay, so first thing, we need to cut our wire. I found that around 10 inches to a foot of wire is a good comfortable working length for this. However, that can depend on exactly how big you're making your flowers. And so I'm not going with like a super exact measurement here because some of this probably will come off later, but we're going to start with that. And usually once I've cut my first length of wire, I just kind of use that as a guide for the second one. So I cut 2 lengths of wire because I'm planning to make 2 flowers for a pair of earrings, but of course if you're just wanting to make one for a necklace or whatever, then you can just cut one of these. And I'm just going to straighten this wire out a little bit. You can use nylon jaw pliers for this or just your fingers. I'm just running like a little cloth over it just to get it a little bit straighter. Alright, so starting with one end of our wire, we want to make a really tight spiral. And so I'm using my round nose pliers, but if you don't have a pair of round nose pliers, you can use your bail making pliers for this. So I'm just going to make a little hook shape like this. I don't want to completely close this loop just yet because what we're going to do next, I'm taking my bent chain nose pliers. You can use your tweezer nose pliers and any other flat pliers that you might be using, because what we want to do now is we want to squeeze this closed like against itself, just like that. We don't want to like have a closed loop. We want the wire to be as tied up against each other as possible because we want our swirl to be really tight. And so I'm still going to be using this chain nose plier, and I'm going to hold the top of this. This is one of the reasons I suggested that coated wire could be a little bit difficult because it is really easy to scratch, because what I'm going to be doing is I'm holding this wire with the pliers pretty firmly so that I can continue to wrap my wire around that little center that we just made. And I just want to keep wrapping. I want it to be as tight as possible. This is kind of the vibe we're going for. So I'm just going to keep wrapping, and it'll get a little bit easier. The bigger the swirl gets, it's a lot easier to hold on to. So at this point, like, I'm not really having to squeeze that hard. I could probably even put this down and just use my fingers if I needed. Yeah. So this is kind of how it's looking. That's kind of what we're going for. You're totally welcome to leave that center of the swirl open if you're having a hard time getting it squeezed shut, or if you are using craft wire. I just personally like this look the best. And you can make this center as big or as small as you like for however big of a flower you're trying to make. For the size that I'm making, I kind of count on these center rings that we have where it's folded over. Right here we have like 1, 2, 3, 4 layers, and then as it's wrapped around to that other side, that's where I'm going to end it, if that makes any sense. But of course you can make these whatever size you want. I've just found that this size works pretty good for the type of flowers that I do. Next up, we need our bail making pliers, and I'm going to be using, for this size swirl and for the size flower that I'm making, I'm going to be using the second largest barrel for our petals. My cat's crying in the background because she's not allowed in here right now. So what I'm going to do with this second largest barrel that we're going to be using, I want it to be sitting on the outside of our swirl, because what I'm going to do to get a nice round start to this, I'm going to grip it here where the wire's coming out of the swirl, and we are going to bend back over that barrel a little bit. So see how that kind of helps get rid of that super straight look, and it kind of gives it this nice S curve into our first petal. So once we have that started, I'm going to take this tail over here, and we're going to finish wrapping it around that barrel to get our first petal shape. And then if you have a pair of tweezer nose pliers, this is where I would recommend using those. However, if you don't and you just have like a pair of chain nose pliers, you could also use that here. So you see how the wire kind of starts to go behind the swirl right here? For this first one, I like to grab right where that swirl and this wire kind of cross each other. And you're going to grip pretty firmly, and we are going to turn that wire straight up. Sorry, it was a little awkward. I've got the tripod right here. But you're gonna have something that looks kind of like that. Now, I personally like to squeeze that wire together all the way for a more sharp look to end up with something a little bit more like that. And so we have our first petal done. Now back in with our bail making pliers in that same one. Sometimes what I find helps a little bit is to stick it back into that first petal. And if you need, you can like kind of gently squeeze down this center part to like complete that round shape a little bit. And now I'm not going to wrap fully around this big barrel, but I am going to use it just enough to get this tail away from that first petal so that I can go in with that proper size barrel, because when they're super close up together, you can't really fit it in there properly. So now that I've got my second to largest barrel back in here, we're going to go back in, we're going to grab this tail, and we're gonna wrap it around. And now we have this second petal. And don't worry at this point about it being like right up against your swirl or anything. It'll come together as we go. Just trust the process. And then back in with our tweezer nose pliers. Obviously, we're not gonna be using our swirl as our guide this time. What I kind of usually go with is kind of that halfway point of where, you know, the top of this petal is kind of right in this area. I kind of go down about to that point, that midway point of this wire down here at the bottom, and then that's where I'm gonna kind of make our separation. So I'm gonna grip right there, and again, pretty firmly, we're gonna turn that wire straight up. Just like that. So it's gonna look along those lines, and I'm gonna go ahead and squeeze these together right here. And if you choose to do this, I would be very gentle. We don't wanna, you know, mar up our wire too bad, particularly if you are using a coated wire. From here, you can do any adjustments you need to with your bail making pliers to kind of finish up that round shape. And so now we have petal number 2. And then we're gonna do the same thing. And this is kind of what I meant a minute ago when I like to kind of separate these a little bit, because if I go in right now, it's kind of hard to get down there because these wires are so close together at this point. So that's why I like to kind of go back in while I'm doing my adjustments and go ahead and like separate those wires a little bit. And then now that kind of gives me a little bit more room to go in with the bail making pliers and make our next petal. And again, that's petal number 3 going on. We're gonna be doing a total of 5 petals and then like our ending swirl. So we're gonna do the same thing again, kind of finding that middle point there a little bit, gripping pretty firmly and turning up that wire to give us our separation. And then I'm gonna go ahead and squeeze those together gently and just going back in, doing any adjustments with our bail making pliers, just kind of get that shape the way that we want it. And while we're here, we're gonna go ahead and separate these 2 wires a little bit. And then we're gonna go on to petal number 4, pulling that extra wire around. This is how we're looking so far. And then back in with our tweezer nose pliers, we're gonna grip right here again in that middle part and turn that wire all the way up. And I would keep in mind, if you do opt to like squeeze these together, oh sorry, I kind of got the wire poking at you, but you can see it's a little off center. So if I were to squeeze these together at this point, that wire would kind of just like slip over in front, and we don't really want that. So before you do that, just kind of make sure that those are kind of leveled up together, and then we should be good to tighten those up together. And this is definitely just one of those designs that you kind of tweak a little bit as you go, and each one's gonna look a little bit different. And I think that it's important to keep in mind with handmade pieces, every piece is going to have its own little unique flair to it. So don't give yourself a hard time if they're not perfectly symmetrical or perfectly even little petals. That's the beauty of handmade. So this is kind of what we've got so far. I'm going to do one more full petal and then we're going to do our finishing swirl. So we're going to go back in right here again one more time, and we're going to use this just as a little guide to give us some space to work with. Go in with our proper size barrel and wrap around. And again too, if you're wanting to do a larger flower or a smaller flower, you can totally use these different sizes on your bail making pliers. I just find that for the particular size flower I like to make, that this barrel works really well for me. And then again, finding that middle point with our tweezer nose pliers, we're gonna grip firmly and twist up. Make sure that that's even with each other before we give a little squeezy squeeze. All right, so this is what we have so far. We've got all of our full petals done, and next we want to do like a little finishing swirl here. So one last time, I'm going to go back in here and just use this as a guide. And really what we want is we just kind of want like a nice rounded shape with this wire coming out this way. And we're going to go ahead and cut off some of this excess. And you can do this, you know, depending on how tight you want your swirl to be or how big you want it to be. I personally find that for what I do, I like to cut the wire, you know, maybe about 1/2 inch to 1 inch past like where the flower ends. So I'm just gonna cut off this excess right here. And one thing to keep in mind, with most cutters, this side is gonna cut a more jagged end, whereas this back side is gonna cut a little bit more flush. So whenever I'm cutting, I like to make sure that that flush end is facing my finished work. So then we have a more flush cut to our wire versus the other end that we just cut off. It's kind of hard to tell, but that's more of like a pointed end. Ideally, we don't want that on our finished work. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my round nose pliers or your bell making pliers if you want, and I'm just going to create a swirl here, just swirling back in towards the flower, gripping the end of our wire. I'm going to make like a slight hook shape. I'm not going to close that hook all the way, but we're just going to keep turning. In this finishing spiral, I just kind of like to keep pretty loose and do any adjustments you need as you go. And I have like a slightly squared off point here, which I don't really want. It's kind of hard to tell, but I'm going to try to round that out a little bit just with some little tweaks. And if you ever need to as well, if you end up with like a slightly more pointed spiral than you wanted, sometimes I'll go in with like my flat pliers and just kind of round out that curve a little bit. And then also one thing to keep in mind too, I'm probably gonna have to do a little bit more shaping at the end because sometimes after we hammer these, they're gonna spread out a little bit and things are gonna change just a smidge. So I'll do my final shaping at the very end. But one thing I do like to do, particularly when I'm using these as an earring, is this little tiny swirl here in the middle. I do like to go ahead and squeeze that shut. And the reason for that is once I have my earring hook on here, it won't be able to accidentally slide off. So I'm pretty happy with how this guy looks. I'm gonna go ahead and make our second one, and then we're gonna come back, hammer these, and then do our final adjustments. All right, we have our two little flowers now. This is the one I just made, and this is the one we made together, and now we are gonna hammer these. So one thing that I like to keep in mind whenever I'm doing these, particularly earrings, I like to have one facing one way, one facing the other, so that we have like a left and a right and not two like lefts or not two rights or whatever. So it looks more intentional and more professional. I like to go ahead and know that beforehand because I like the face of my work to be on the bench block. I feel like it ends up with like a smoother finish. That doesn't really matter, but we'll make this the face of this one. So I'm going to put it face down. When we're hammering, we really want to focus on these outer petals because that's what we really don't want to bend, and stylistically it's going to look a little bit nicer to have like some parts more flat than others. So we're really wanting to focus our energy on those outer petals and also that center swirl. So I've got this one all hammered, and see, it kind of looks nice with like the outer edges flattened, but then you have like these center parts in between that aren't. It kind of gives it like a little finesse to it. So this one's good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other one and we will be done. And again, since this is going to be the face of this one and we want this one to face this way, I'm gonna flip it over and go face down. That's of course completely optional. You can totally hammer whichever side. In fact, if you are wanting to use your ball peen to get some texture going, then I would actually recommend hammering the face of your metal then, because otherwise if you hammer the back with this, your face is gonna end up being really smooth. And if you're aiming for texture, you want that texture. If you want to prevent hitting your fingers, which of course we don't want to be smashing our fingers, it's actually a good idea to hammer off the edge of the block with your fingers off the edge and the work on the metal. I just don't always do that, so this one did turn out a little bit funky. I have a little bit harder time trying to shape things under the camera than off camera, so I am gonna try and do a little bit of tweaking if I can to try and even up some of these petals a little bit. But again, they don't have to be perfect. I also kind of like that about this particular look of the flower. I feel like almost has kind of a cartoonish little vibe about it, but I do still want to have my petals as even as possible. And then finally, if you are going to be making a pair of earrings out of yours, then we're just going to add our earring hooks on. And of course, we want to make sure that the front of our earring is facing the front when we put it on. And see, this is kind of what I meant earlier about going ahead and closing up that little center swirl, because then this one, even if it comes all the way around, this earring hook isn't coming off. And now we have a nice little flower earring. So there you have it, a super fun and versatile little flower pattern. And I will say that this might be a little bit more of an intermediate design, so if you're new to making jewelry or working with wire, don't be discouraged if these don't turn out exactly the way you want the first try. So let me know if you have any questions down in the comments, and feel free to let me know what designs or what tutorials you'd like to see next, or if there's anything you'd like to see me talk about on my channel. And make sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell, and I will see you next time.